Hi there. I was asked for a little guidance on weight training. As we get older, we of course want to keep our muscles nice and toned and firm to protect our bones, protect us from injuries. And so there's two things when you think about weights. There's building muscle mass, and there is just simply being happy where you are and keeping it toned and fit and strong. So if you opt for building muscle mass, you always want to take a little heavier weights than is super comfortable and maybe doing just a few less reps. As soon as you feel that burn happening, maybe take a break and do something else like lunges or just kind of do some alternating movements. And then if you want to just basically stay toned, then you just want to take a comfortable weight and do maybe a little extra reps. You always want to feel a little something though. So instead of me just chattering on about it, I thought I would just demonstrate and do a short series, maybe 15 minutes or so that maybe, and I'll talk along the way, that maybe you can use a few times during the week and keep yourself nice and fit and choose the weights accordingly. So we're going to start with our larger weights. So for me, I'm just picking a 5 today. I would say you guys can pick a 5 or an 8, depending on what you have at home. And we'll work on some of our stronger muscle groups to get started. So let's just face forward, root your feet. Always want to stay nice and balanced. So I keep my feet right under my hips. All right, so we'll start. Actually, let's start with overhead presses. So you might choose 5 pounds for this, bringing them up. Notice how my hands are like cactus arms right here. That's what I call them in my class. So we're going to take a breath and push. Exhale, just bring them down, stopping right where you started. Push up and down. Push up and down. And up and down. We have 4 more right here. So if you're feeling a lot of heat, but it's okay, keep it going. If you're finding this just already too much for you, then you'll know that you should take a lighter weight. So stop here. Now to take something different, let's bring these weights right in the front and then open them up. Bring them to the front and open them. Bring them to the front and open them. And bring them to the front. For me, I'm already feeling this, but I'm happy with it. For 4 more, for 3, and for 2, and then for 1. Bring your arms down by your side. Now we give those muscles a baby break and maybe just pivot and step 1 foot behind us, keeping your weights right down at your side. Let's just focus now just on those legs. So dip down and up, and down and up, and down and up, and down and up, down and up, and down and up. We've got 2 more. Perfect. Now step forward and take the other foot back. And let's go down for 8, for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4. Now with these lunges, you can add biceps, anything you want. 1 more time, and then step it forward. Come back to where we started, and let's do round number 2. Cactus arms, push up and down for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2. And now pull them in 8 times, for 8, and for 7. Now this is just a sample of what you can do. If these are just too much with the heavier weights, then perhaps you just lower the weight. 3 more, 2 more, and then 1 more, and then bring it down. Let's take it right back to face the side and take lunges once again, just for 8, and for 7, and for 6, and for 5, and for 4, and for 3, and for 2. Step forward and switch those legs and take it 8 more. 8. Now think about these leg muscles are super strong, and we can do a lot more of these than we could do, let's say, for those overhead presses we just did. We've got 4, so we can use these a lot during our practice. Just 2 more, and then step forward. Face the front once again. Well done. So we did overhead presses. A complementing set for that would be upward rows. So we just went up and down. Now we're going to pull up and down instead. So your feet are wide this time. Let's go ahead and pull them to your chin. For 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, and for 6, and for 7. Hold them up. Now drop the elbows down. For 1 and up, for 2 and up, for 3, for 4, for 5, for 6, for 7, for 8, and let those weights go to the top of your legs. Now let's take a little break as we let those muscles rest. Squat down, wide squats for 8, for 7. Notice I'm not hinging forward, but I'm staying upright. 4 more. For 4, for 3, and for 2. And then 1 more time, stand tall, upward rows. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. Now remember, all these movements can be done with any size weight depending on what you want out of this and how you feel. Hold it here, drop and lift. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Let's take it back to those squats. For 8, for 7, for 6. This gives our muscles a rest and works these big muscles. Once again, 4 more. For 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Standing up nice and tall. Bring those feet in. This time, let's open up the weights. We can take a nice little bend and work these muscles at the same time without movement, just static hold. Now, arms are extended. Now pull them to your shoulders. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and then halfway down, open and close. For 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, for 6, for 7, and for 8. Give them a rest and just squat. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Rebend the knees. Bicep curls. For 8, for 7. The slower you go, the more challenging it becomes. For 4, for 3, for 2, and then halfway down, open and close. For 8. Remember, these biceps are muscles we use all the time, so they can take a little extra weight and they can take more reps. 1 more time. Hands on those thighs and squat. For 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, for 6, for 7, and for 8. Rebend. We're doing another set because these are muscles that can afford that. So pull them up and down, up and down, up and down. Now, if I had 8 pounds, I might be choosing 8 pounds for biceps because these are strong muscles we use and we're used to that movement. Halfway down and open and close. For 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Hands on your thighs. Final set of squats. Did you know that the squats are the most valuable exercise you can do as we get older? Here we go. For 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. And then here's 1. Standing up nice and tall. So we have worked overhead and upward. We have a bicep. Tricep comes next. So we're going to bring, how should we do triceps? Let's turn to the side. Let's take your right foot back and then kick your elbow right behind you and the weight at your hip. Now, we're not going to create a lot of movement. We're just going to press back and pull in, press back and pull in, press back and pull in. And you want to squeeze at the top. 4, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, and then for 1. Release it, and let's take our dips again for 8, for 7. Keep these legs really strong. And 4, and 3, and 2, and then 1. Pivot that heel back around, pull the weight to your hip, press back for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. Maybe I would check with an 8, but probably 5 is fine here. 2 more. Fantastic. And now let's pivot the back foot and dip for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and then for 1. Go ahead and turn back to the front. Let's just take those arms out wide and do biceps again for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, and for 3, using this almost as a resting period, but benefiting as well. Now pivot so your left foot is in the back. Good. Pulling the weight to your hip, this front leg is bent. Just kick the arm back for 8, squeezing it at the top, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Standing up tall, dip for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Hinge forward, pull the weight to the hip. 1 more set for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, and for 3, and for 2, and for 1, and dip for 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Stand and turn back to the front. Last set of biceps, but this time rotate those hands outward. Pull them to your shoulders for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5. Now, if you just do this series on a regular basis, we're hitting all the main muscle groups that are important. 1 more. Let's go ahead and release. All right, so we've done our biceps and our triceps. We've done overhead and upward. In between, we've done a few little extras. So let's work our back now. So let's go ahead and turn. So your 1 foot is in the back. So if you're facing forward, just pivot one way. So that front leg is in the back. Now bend the front knee. You can pivot the foot down to root it and be strong. And now thinking of the middle of your back, reach forward and use the muscles that are right in the middle of your back here to pull the weight for 1, for 2, for 3, for 4, for 5, for 6, for 7, and for 8. Standing up nice and tall, turn back to the front. Take that same arm and lift it to shoulder and down, to shoulder and down, to shoulder and down, to shoulder and down. Now, if your weight's really heavy, that's enough. If you're okay, you do 4 more. This is where you pick and you choose, because this starts combining those finer muscles and the heavy and the stronger muscles. That's it. Turn back for round number 2. Bend the front knee, hover forward, reach. Now just squeeze and pull for 1. Really think of that muscle in the middle of the back as though it's like responsible for pulling this weight back for 4, for 3, and then for 2, and then for 1. Slowly rise and stand, turn to the front. We're not going to do those lateral lifts anymore because those involve smaller muscles, and that was plenty. Turn the other way. Bend the front knee, root the back foot, hinge forward. Reach, use the middle of the back to pull. Here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. Here's 6. Here's 7. And here's 8. Stand tall. Lateral lifts. Just easy up and down, stopping if you need to before 8 is complete. Small muscles are involved here, so be careful. for 4, and for 3, and for 2. And then we're going to take that one more time. So pivot back around and bend the knee, reach forward, pull back for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, and for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Stand up nice and tall, giving our arms a little break. Squat down deep and low. Take a moment to secure your posture. And now just kind of little baby bounces. So 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Rise up, repeat for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, stand tall. Turn your toes forward. Walk your heels in, toes forward. Hinge forward. Bend those knees a little bit. Bringing those weights to the center. Think of the middle of your back again as you pull the weights out wide. For 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Stand up tall. From here, we're just going to take a breath in and then fold back down. Bend the knees. One more set. Squeeze and pull out for 8, for 7, for 6, for 5, for 4, for 3, and for 2, and for 1. Slowly rise to stand. Take a breath in. And then take a breath out. Well done. All right, so we just did our back, 2 versions for your back. Pulling, when we did the flies, we also worked these pectoral muscles right here. So one more time, just to use those a little bit more. Push-ups are another really good complement, but just to keep the weights handy, let's turn our toes out and soften the knees. Bring the weights to your chest. Lift the elbows. Now pull out, push in. Push out, push in, push out, push in, and 4 is fine, or go 4 more. Here's 4, here's 3, think push-ups, here's 2, and then here's 1, and stand nice and tall, breath in, and then let it go. Remember, choose push-ups if this is too much. Settle down, bring the weights here, good. And now just open and close for 8. Squeeze that chest together as you bring them back together. Good. And then just 4 more. That's it. Here's 4. Here's 3. Here's 2. And then 4, 1. Slowly rise and stand. Well done. So let's put our weights down. Shake your arms out. So we've done biceps. We've done triceps. Another tricep would be down and up. Okay, so you can choose as long as you do both, doesn't matter. We have done our back, and we've done some openers for our chest. Every time you bring them together, you contract the muscles here, so we're building muscle. Yep. And we've done pull-ups right here, and we've done overhead. So those are 3 common muscle groups, and we've also incorporated some nice leg muscles in there. So let's finish up now by taking our lighter weights. Now I would suggest 2 or 3 pound weights for these. We could take a nice wide stance, and we can bring our arms out wide and flip the palms, and then flip them, 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 and stay right here. Slowly curl them in, push them out, curl them in, and push them out, curl them in, and push them out, and curl them in, and push them out. Just 4 more. Here's 4. So as you notice, nothing is moving below our shoulders. We're using these fine muscles here. Good. Just 2 more. And then just 1 more. And release them all the way down. Now from here, bring them halfway up. And then lower really slow. Bring them halfway up and lower really slow. And halfway up and lower really slow. And one more time, just halfway up and lower really slow. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Good. So now walk the toes in a little bit. Bring the weights back out wide. One more time. This time, bring them overhead and halfway down. Here's 1, go slow and stop. Here's 2, go slow and stop. Here's 3, go slow and stop. And here's 4. I'm really feeling this, but I'm okay to keep going. So choose whether you've had enough. Listen to those shoulder muscles, those little delicate muscles. Don't want to overdo it. And then one more time and all the way down. Breathe in and breathe out. You should feel heat up in those shoulders. That's fantastic. All right, so last time, bring the arms over your head. Bring them all the way down. Bring them over your head and halfway down. Flip them down and up, 2 sets, and down and up. Bring them all the way up and all the way down. Really feeling this, but we're going to do one more if you can. So all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and halfway down. Flip them. 2 sets. Perfect. All the way up and all the way down. You should feel a lot of heat, so roll those shoulders back. Place those weights back on the floor. Shake everything out. And let's just take some basic stretches here. So bring one arm right across your chest. Feel the nice stretch right here. Maybe look over the shoulder. And then we're going to really push the hand all the way back. And as you do, fingertips reach back and your chin goes over the opposite shoulder. And then just drop down and lift up. Drop down and lift up. Drop down and lift up. And then one more time, we're going to take it over our head and just stretch out that tricep. Perfect. And then release it. Shake it out. Other side, across your chest. As you pull it in gently, just kind of peek over the shoulder. And then keeping your fingers spread wide, start to push it out, palms, foot push, and look over. Put the chin towards that opposite shoulder. And then dropping it back behind you, 4 circles for those shoulders that we worked. Always good to just recover and then tricep stretch. Push it back. And then reaching tall, stepping wide, just a gentle bend and lift and bend and lift. Just twice more and lift and bend and lift. Bring it all the way down, pivot to one side, bend that knee, take that back heel under and then kick the knee under. So you're pushing this hip flexor forward, just stretching that big muscle we worked. That's it. Turn the other way. Turn that heel around and lift it, bend that back knee and push the hip forward. Just stay right there. That'll do just fine. And then turn back to the front, take a big breath and a nice easy side bend and a side bend. Back to the center and just let those hands go. So give yourself a hand and I invite you to maybe do that on a regular basis, more than just our Wednesday weight day. And you will get stronger and you will see when you can add weights, when you need to reduce weights. But remember, if you want to tone, just use a lighter weight where you can feel it, but it's not super intense. If you want to build the muscles, especially in some of those stronger muscle groups, choose a heavier weight and just play around with it and see how you feel. Tune in. All right. I hope you find that helpful. I was glad to help.